According to John Hall at the University of Idaho in the United States, over 66% of dairy cows are bred by AI, and over 85% of registered Holsteins are a product of AI. You may be wondering what AI means. Well, AI stands for artificial insemination, which is a method of breeding used in the dairy industry. Today, I will be informing you about artificial insemination and its use in the dairy industry. I worked on a dairy farm for several years where the cows are bred by artificial insemination, and I am also an animal science major at Penn State, learning the ins and outs of how artificial insemination is used in the dairy industry. First, I will be explaining what exactly artificial insemination is. Then I will tell you how the history of and the development of artificial insemination came to be. And finally, I will discuss the benefits associated with using artificial insemination as opposed to other methods. First, let's look at how exactly artificial insemination is done and what it is. Artificial insemination is the use of a stored bull semen sample that is kept in a canister of liquid nitrogen until it's ready. The stored sample is stored here in the straw tube. Once the artificial insemination is ready to take place, it will be removed and kept in a warm water to bring it to body temperature. Then the straw will be inserted into the AI gun, and then a sheath and tube is placed over it. So the artificial insemination gun is prepped for use. Once it's prepped, the artificial insemination gun, as seen here, a large glove that is latex that is all the way up to the farmer's arm will be placed into the anus of the cow to remove any manure out before artificial insemination can take place. Then the arm of the farmer is placed into the anus and used to guide the artificial insemination gun into the uterine body. Then once in place, the farmer will push the end or the plunger of the artificial insemination gun to release the semen sample into the uterine body, and then fertilization can be able to take place. And as stated by University of Cornell, this insertion process should be done by either a managed vet or a trained farmer. Now we can begin to talk about the history of artificial insemination now that we know what it is. Spallanzani in 1780 was the first person to develop artificial insemination, and his findings with dogs was then able to be taken and used into cattle. The University of Minnesota states that Ilan Ivanovich Ivanov in 1930 was the first person to use artificial insemination in cattle, and it's been used as a proper breeding method ever since. Finally, we can discuss the benefits that are associated with artificial insemination in dairy. It helps to reduce the injury that could be plausible to the cow or heifer. As opposed to natural breeding methods, the bull could possibly harm or break any bones in the cow. So with using artificial insemination, it completely reduces that. The genetics can be more closely monitored. They make catalogs you are able to pick the gender of the calf that you want to birth, and any traits as far as fur color, how long its horns are, things like that can be monitored through that. You don't need to house a bull on the farm since these semen samples can be flown and transported globally. You don't have to have a barn separate to house a bull on the specific farm, so it reduces any medical costs for the bull and feeding and maintaining it. And it's also more effective since you can rely on estrus cycles to know when to properly breed the heifer and ensure that fertilization does take place. In conclusion, I hope that I've been able to better your understandings of the use of artificial insemination in agriculture, specifically its use in cattle. So the next time you have a big glass of milk, just think about how that milk came to be. Think of all the science behind getting the best product available. Thank you.